Hi, I'm Chris and welcome back to Get Good at Golf. Today we're going to be talking about the takeaway in the golf swing. It's one thing that I see a lot of people get wrong and it's costing them consistent strike, consistent fly and a consistent distance on their golf shots. So first thing we want to look at is the people that start the club by dragging the hands backwards. So the elbow starts to take that club away, we've got no real turn from the chest and it's the arms that are taking that club into this position here. From there, what they can do is really get stuck behind them. We get into this position, we get a bowed left wrist at the top of the backswing, and then we're constantly trying to fight that club getting back onto playing in the downswing. So what we want to do for that is try and get you working the chest better and keeping the club head outside of the hands. So how do I do that without dragging that arm? So a nice drill for you to do, if you've got a towel, hopefully you've got a towel, nice and long, underneath both arms. What we can do from there is keep the connection of my biceps to my chest. If I have any kind of motion that way, the towel is going to fall. It's not going to allow me to get into that position. By having this underneath your arms, what it's going to do is get the club and the chest working away as one piece. So if we talk about sequencing, that will be the first move in the golf swing. We want to see the club head and your chest working away together. We don't want to see them working against each other. So from here I can hit some shots, even if we just come in and hit a shorter shot. Get yourself a pitching wedge, make a motion, keep those arms connected. Right there doesn't matter, we want to think about the movement. There, that started straight, so you've got to think we want to make your misses down the middle. We want to keep them going straight and contact will come with that. It's going to feel very awkward. It's something clearly that I still need to work on a little bit in my practice swings, is keeping that connected. From here, we can get that club there and then make a motion. Even if you start with half swings, even quarter swings, get some contact first, build it up and then get longer with your club. That's the first way that I see people struggle with their takeaway. The second thing is what James is going to come in and talk about now.
Now, one of the big things for me with the takeaway is making sure that we have the club face in the correct place. So I see so many people who generally, you'll see this is going to be a lovely drill for us in just a second, but I see so many golfers who generally open the club face way too much on the way back. That club face is pointing to the sky, and from there we are going to really struggle to get this back on track at any point in the golf swing, especially at impact. People generally will shank the ball from there or play a big block. Other people take the club away and the club face is far too close. That loft is then pointing down, and once again there's no way I can really salvage that in the golf swing. The wrists actually work so strong there I can't even get the club on the right plane on the way back. So a big thing that I want to do to make sure this club head is nice and square to my body on the way back is have a little checkpoint. If I'm in the correct posture, that club works back. I want the leading edge of that club in line with my spine angle there. That for me is square. We always used to get taught that toe up to the sky was square, and this actually wasn't right, because I want the club face square to my spine angle so that when I rotate into the ball, I'm not having to manufacture anything with my hands. I can just turn my chest onto the ball, the handle's leading ever so slightly, we have that forward shaft lean, the club is pointing at the target, and we're going to hit a nice pressured golf shot. So another thing that we see, and this generally happens when we see someone with a strong grip. So a strong grip, it means that the left hand is a little bit too much on top, the right hand is a little bit too much underneath. You may recognise this if you watch my videos, because I have a bit of a strong grip. Then we will see the club roll on the inside. So you can see that the club face is opened, but I'm also nowhere near where I want the club to be set to create a nice powerful golf swing. So the reason I brought this other iron in, you can do this at the driving range, you can do it on the golf course, you can use an alignment rod, you can use another golf ball, you can use anything just to give you a visual, is to set that club up into the right position. So that club is working through the first position we spoke about, where the leading edge is parallel to my spine angle, and then set the club so that whatever Golf Pride logo or Lamkin logo I have here is pointing to my right shoulder. Also, the butt of the club is pointing down to the other butt of the club down at the ball. That means that I'm working the club in the right position. The hands actually work in an opposed manner, so I squeeze together there, and that allows me to set the club properly. And if I do all those things correctly, I should have a nice takeaway and a well-struck golf shot just like that. Another really good drill that you can do there, if you don't have another club, if you've gone to the driving range with one, is practice taking the club away and rolling a golf ball straight back. So if this golf ball's behind my club, I have another golf ball in front that I'm going to hit, I want to make sure that, just as Chris said earlier in the video, I take the club away as one with my shoulders. You'll see that ball has moved straight back. I've not pushed it out there, I've not brought it inside, and that's a great way of making sure you start the golf swing correctly, taking the club back to a nice position at the top of the backswing.
So guys, if you're wanting to work out if you do have a takeaway, which we've gone over there, if you are struggling with it, like James said, you can test this out for yourself. So if you've got a strong grip and you're down here at the ball, if we have it behind, if I get my takeaway, my hands rolling, like James said, we're going to see that ball roll inside. The one that James didn't mention, if I have a weak grip, where again my right hand is very much on top, we'll start to see in your takeaway that you might throw that ball out towards the right. Again, that I'd encourage you again to pick that club up into that position, and there's a lot of rescuing to do from there. We often see people then drop the club in behind and don't get the strike they want. So if you want to test it out for yourself, guys, get 2 golf balls down, do the takeaway drill that James said, and figure out which one you are struggling with, and then you can find the middle and start to strike your irons better.